Hi, my name is Matt Curtis, and I'm Vice President of Developer Relations at Roblox. Today, I'm going to talk about the future of user-generated content, how it's disrupting gaming, and what it means for the future of the industry. User-generated content has taken over other entertainment industries like music and video by storm. It's become the prevalent medium for content consumption and generation. However, the gaming industry as a whole has lagged behind this trend. Roblox is different. It's a unique position as it sits in the intersection of UGC platform and gaming destination. And it's really an ecosystem of millions of players and creators who are defining a new way to consume and create content. I think one of the reasons the gaming industry has been slow to integrate UGC is because gaming is a deeper form of entertainment. It's much more immersive than other mediums. As you can see in the video of various Roblox games, each experience is unique, social, and 3D. This allows for more creativity, but introduces unique and complex challenges for creators and platforms alike. And going a step further, there's really two dimensions that drive the flywheel of a UGC ecosystem. The first is the foundation of users. So most UGC platforms are really just social networks at the core, and Roblox is no different. Its base is made up of a social network of players who connect with their friends. They can interact, chat, hang out like any other social network. But one of the key differentiations is that they have millions of unique experiences they can choose from. And this content is the other dimension that makes up a UGC marketplace, which for Roblox is driven by creators who are also players. And this is really an ideal scenario. The creators on Roblox intuitively understand what's relevant for the community, and this synergy helps to expedite engaging content and innovation on the platform. But what we really try to focus on in Roblox is just improving this synergy, making the experience better for players, but making the process of creation easier and faster for creators. This synergy of passionate players and creators, plus an unrelenting desire from Roblox to constantly improve the product, has led to the explosive growth shown in the graph here. But you can see it didn't happen overnight. Roblox has evolved over time through thoughtful improvements and changes, and the impact of each milestone slowly compounded, eventually resulting in the critical mass, which recently has propelled monthly hours to over 2 billion as in the month of March. This is the result of a living, breathing, and evolving ecosystem. What's really interesting about Roblox is when you dig into the data, you uncover some unique results. For instance, it's rare to have such a strong cross-platform engagement profile. And recently, mobile has been leading the growth area for us. But we still have a large portion of desktop players, which is where we started. Also, almost 60% of our players are under 13, but 13 plus has really accelerated in the past 3 years, growing more than 350% and continues to outperform. But one of the most impressive stats is that over 40% of our player base is female. Many female players have become successful creators and actually focus on female games. In fact, the majority of players in some of our biggest games on the platform, like Adopt Me and Royal High, are female. I think this speaks to the unique aspects of UGC. It's made by players for the players, and we've seen that trend in our worldwide growth. Now this represents 2/3 of our monthly active users. But what's really cool is we're starting to see creators from different geographies getting global success. It's not just in their home countries. And this is because they're players too. Roblox is becoming a global platform and breaking down barriers for creators and players alike. So to give a sense of scale, let's take a look at some of the bigger titles on Roblox. There are 16 games with over 1 billion plays. Let's take a moment to soak that in. This isn't a consolidation of plays across these 16 titles. Each game listed has over 1 billion plays. These are up there with some of the biggest games available on any platform. And taking a step back, our top experiences average over 10 million monthly active users. And Roblox has over 5,000 games with more than 1 million plays. But the most topical example of scale is Adopt Me. It recently broke 1.6 million concurrent users with a new feature release. This is more than double their last concurrent record, which was around 700,000. And in less than 3 years, Adopt Me has had almost 6 billion plays. And I don't think I even really need to quote this, but PC Gamer says bigger than most Steam games. I think at this rate, it might be bigger than all. Again, this is just a great example of the power of UGC. And I don't think this is going to be the last time they break a record. In 2019 alone, all of our developers earned over $110 million in Roblox. And many of those grew up playing Roblox as kids and teens. They now operate successful games, and they account for some of the 2 million developers on the platform, 35,000 of which make revenue from their creations. So we have over 35,000 monetizing developers on an annual basis, and this is growing. And what's cool is we're getting new creators every day. We actually have over 300,000 monthly active creators creating new experiences on the platform. So what does this show about UGC and kind of the broader spectrum of the gaming industry? Well, we believe this all leads to the creation of the metaverse. So the metaverse has been talked about for years. It still remains somewhat hard to define, but we are seeing and starting to feel pieces of it become very real. Our founder, Dave Pasuki, describes it as a new category which combines gaming, entertainment, and social experiences into a human co-experience. It's where you can get together, move around, and play, with your friends in millions of virtual worlds seamlessly. But in order to facilitate this, we feel that there's 8 foundational elements that are needed. The first is it needs to be a persistent world, a persistent ecosystem that has vast and diverse experiences. You need a sense of identity as a user, something that you can identify with, what makes you unique relative to others. And there has to be an underlying social fabric that connects it all together. These experiences need to be immersive, and they have to be frictionless. There can't be any friction when you're actually moving around this world, jumping into new experiences, and playing with your friends. There needs to be an integrated economy and a set of rules and order to keep it all together. So some of the areas Roblox is focusing on to further ease creation and get closer to the metaverse could be summed up into these 3 categories: platform technology, developer tools, and developer economics. I'm going to cover some key points on each and explain what we think is coming up next. So starting with platform technology and mega servers. So large game servers already exist, but to facilitate the future of UGC, these need to be persistent and easily accessible to all creators. So imagine not writing a line of netcode, and even as a brand new user, using one button publish to push your first instance live. By default, this supports 200 concurrent players, it's free, and it can scale up to millions of players really easily. Does it sound like fiction? Well, part of it already exists on Roblox. You don't have to mess with any infrastructure, tech, it's free, we provide it for you. And any Roblox player can experience your creation synchronously with their friends in real time. What we're working on next is adding in support for 200 plus player servers on top of all these benefits. This video demo kind of demonstrates what we're working with. It's actually using a game from the platform called Robloxian High School and showing off what 200 concurrent users could look like. What we're trying to do is continue to improve the performance and the ease of use. So anyone, regardless of their skill level, can leverage this right out of the box when they start creating. Immersive experiences seem like a no-brainer when it comes to the metaverse. The power to create high-fidelity 3D worlds, it already exists. It already exists on Roblox and other platforms. But what we're really focused on is creating dynamic worlds that adapt in real time to player actions. And we feel that this evolution is really the stepping stone to fully immersive experiences. It's going to allow creators to make vast and diverse worlds, but it should also work on the platform seamlessly. So any platform that either Roblox or another platform supports, such as iOS, Android, everything that a creator creates not only needs to look visually appealing, 3-dimensional, and really immersive, it has to seamlessly work with those platforms as well. And we think that this is really a hard part to solve, but it's a key component to truly making an immersive experience that kind of spans this new concept of a metaverse. Identity. Identity is also very important. Obviously, it's a huge and needed aspect of human culture, but it's also a foundational element of the metaverse. Creating a persona that shows off your style, has clothing options which dynamically adjust. It's all necessary. And actually, the technology to do this well and dynamically is really complicated, but worth the investment. However, we think the ability to accurately reflect your emotions through your avatar is a whole nother level. This adds a layer of depth that allows players to truly convey their feelings in a digital reality. And in this demo, you can see our focus isn't just on vanity, but expressing real emotions through your digital self. This is that next step that will allow you to fully immerse yourself in a three-dimensional space and convey how you're really feeling to your friends and anyone else who is sharing that space with you. So better technology improves the effectiveness of creations, but what about efficiency of creation? Well, that's where developer tools come in. And the social fabric of UGC is not exclusive to players. It's also an integral part to game creation. One awesome aspect of creating on UGC is that you meet other players from all around the world. And making this easier is a primary goal of ours, allowing teams to find talent that they need for their projects and creators the opportunity to find teams that they need and can add value to is a key benefit that we want to provide. But there can be logistical challenges that introduce themselves with this, whether it's distance, time zone, language barriers. There's a lot of things that can get in the way. That's why we feel it's necessary to facilitate synchronous team collaboration for any size team. So what this video is showing is actually a feature in Roblox called Team Create. There's a handful of developers that are actually editing the space in real time. This already exists. You can do this today. One thing that we added recently, however, that is next generation is something called collaborative editing. This allows scripters to code in real time without locking scripts, which I think for most people who do that regularly, they're probably in the back of their seats. It's something that we've been working on tirelessly over the past year, and we're really proud of, but it's just one step in that next direction of virtual collaboration. So matchmaking is an important tool to make synchronous experiences frictionless. However, some creators don't need every component. Offering these components individually is really ideal. And at Roblox, we're working on providing universal scripts, cross-server messaging is already available, and improving our shared memory. And all of these things combined can create a really robust offering when it comes to matchmaking. But we want to ensure we provide the flexibility to developers to pick and choose what they want to use for their creations. This allows them to have the flexibility to make truly unique experiences and just further creates more innovation on the platform and leads to kind of expediting that path to the metaverse. So fully automated translation is another key component. And as noted earlier, global growth has been accelerating in Roblox. And providing a culturalized experience is really needed to create a vast and diverse ecosystem. But this can be a really daunting task for any developer, and it can quickly become cost prohibitive. So the means to do this affordably at high quality are really key. And what we're trying to do is revolutionize this process. We actually started by automatically scraping text strings in game, and then allowing developers to use high quality machine translation for free. And as you can see in this video, this user actually starts in an instance. It's a game that's existing on Roblox. Every string is in English. They then jump out. They opt in to machine translate all those strings, which were scraped automatically into Spanish, and it kind of shows that result. But of course, we also want to offer override capabilities to provide the ultimate flexibility and full control. This is important if there's certain strings you don't want to localize, or if you want to add in other processes like LQA on top of machine translation. Again, we're trying to ensure that we provide the most flexibility and power for creators to choose how they want to make their creations. So the other key driver of all of this, beyond technology, beyond tools, is really how the economics work at UGC. And UGC is not limited to a singular content type. It's not just a game or a space. Really, it's every part of the platform. Everything should be UGC. This also drives unique and diverse communities. You don't have to just be a coder or a builder. You can be creative. You can create assets. And this is actually a transition we're making on Roblox at the moment. Previously, Roblox created all avatar items, and we recently opened this up to the UGC community. And it's not a surprise that the items that are created by the community have become the most popular. I think it's just another example of kind of the efficiency and effectiveness of UGC. The fact that creators in this ecosystem have such a strong pulse on kind of the broader player base. But it also shows that everything within the metaverse really should, at its foundation, be user generated. And as I said, I think providing additional opportunities to a broader ecosystem, to a broader set of creators, allows for more collaboration and allows them to contribute and invest more into the overarching UGC community as a whole. We're envisioning economics on UGC as something that's probably totally different than most companies have thought about it before. One thing that we unveiled recently is engagement-based earnings. And really, we think this is going to be a key factor to driving innovation and a network effect that allows the metaverse to happen. So in this video, it shows off one of our awesome experiences. It's really pushing the level of fidelity on the platform, but they don't have robust monetization. They have donations, that's about it. But we want to ensure we support developers like this. It's really important to the health of the community. It also allows other creators to be inspired and innovate. So what we've started to do is actually provide revenue streams based on engagement. So developers like this can create for creation's sake. It also allows new developers to try and learn what works best prior to rushing to monetization. They can actually focus on making high quality content, which has benefits for the whole community, not just them, and allows them to really figure out what works and what doesn't early on, and then focus on monetization if they choose. It's going to be changes like this to economics on the platform that we feel are really going to drive the future of the metaverse. And we're really proud to kind of start this somewhat audacious change on Roblox. So our beliefs that the metaverse will become the primary engagement medium. This has a multitude of implications. It's going to fundamentally change how people experience the world. And I think one of the more interesting results will be how companies evolve to this new reality. Savvy brands are already starting to investigate the potential opportunity available, but this shift will be aspirational for most. And it's unfortunate, but I think those that are able to kind of make that jump will vastly improve how they interact with their fans, and it will really push the boundaries of what's next. We're really fortunate because we've already started partnering with some of these pioneers, as you can see in the video, but it's just the beginning. I think as we evolve the platform, as UGC matures, as we get closer to the metaverse, brands will also evolve. They'll change from a logo and a feeling to a living and breathing experience that's available to players anytime in real time. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the talk. Please feel free to reach out to me at devrelations@roblox.com. You can also see us on Twitter at RobloxDevrel. It's been a pleasure, and I hope you have a good one.